And I even got pushback from people in the Asian bodywork world calling it a traditional medical technique. But from the start, once I started doing my research, I knew that this was medicine. This really isn't massage.
Today it is part 2 of my conversation with Rick Gold, one of the very first North American teachers of Thai massage, the first to publish a book by a major Western publishing house. And his stories, I think, are so pertinent. They're so incredible. It's so good to know our history, the doors that have been opened by teachers like Rick, and how he has really helped to establish Thai massage as Thai medicine, as something so therapeutic and so valuable that now there are just, thousands, if not tens of thousands of us who have benefited from the doors that he helped open for us. That, the music that he makes now, this incredible accompaniment to Thai massage, and so much more is coming right up. I mean, that's the next thing I'm wondering, because of course, so you mentioned all the different styles of body work that and acupuncture and psychology, and just like, how does Thai massage influence and integrate with all of those things?
People brought me their elbow problems, their digestive problems, their cramp, everything. So where I integrated Thai massage, I think wasn't even that visible to the client. Mm-hmm. It was much more what I had become, with the exception of a combination of my shiatsu and my Thai. I am I'm very laser focused on abdominal health.
Okay.
And the Thai massage abdominal work is a jewel within jewels. And so I think that's where I have a strong influence. I published in Chinese medicine, not a whole book, but chapters and some articles. And so I was a writer. Part of my self-identification was as a writer. And there was no published book. Now, Soksananda had a book that he published in Thailand that subsequently I found. But it wasn't it was never published here in America or in the West that I saw. Maybe in Europe.
The Art of Traditional Thai Massage.
Yeah.
That's the first one.
But there was nothing on Thai massage. So I knew personally the owners of Red Wing Books at the time. I knew Dan Bensky of Eastland Press. I knew the people that were publishing. And what was explained to me a few times was they thought it was great. They thought this is important work, but they didn't want to take the risk of publishing the first one. They didn't want to step out of the comfort zone of where they were at.
Right. It was a big investment to publish books in the 90s.
Yeah. Another thing I was doing is I was speaking on behalf of a Japanese nutraceutical company that subsequently sent me around the world to speak. And London was one of the places they sent me. So I had a personal meeting with Churchill Livingston, mm-hmm. and they said, absolutely, we want to do this. And so I don't know, this book's not in circulation anymore. This came out in 1988, and they did it, a very European classical with black and white pictures, and so that was then the first publication. And I even got pushback from people in the Asian bodywork world calling it a traditional medical technique, because a lot of, these were mainly shiatsu therapists, had gotten in trouble for saying they were practicing a traditional form of medicine. But from the start, once I started doing my research, I knew that this was medicine. This really isn't massage.
So what does that mean? What's the distinction to you, and why is it medicine?
The distinction is that it's deeply part of it's a foundational part of a traditional medical system, traditional Thai medicine, that historically it was used for healing. The idea of having a relaxation massage throughout history was reserved for kings and emperors and queens and Cleopatra. It wasn't for someone working in a rice field or, hauling lumber or what most of humanity did for most of their lives. If you had an extra penny or an extra grain of rice, it was eaten. It wasn't used to get I'm so stressed, I need relaxation. So that's the distinction for me. And the therapeutic, now it works as a wonderful relaxation massage, as we know.
Sure.
Historically, that wasn't the case.
Right. And then when you were in Thailand, you were seeing it being used in hospitals or in...
It's interesting. I met on the golf course in Chiang Mai. I took it some time to play golf there. And I met the head of physical therapy at a local hospital. And I said, do you do Thai massage? I told him I was at the old medic. He said, do you do Thai massage at the hospital? He said, no, we just do Western physical therapy.
Oh, that's interesting.
This is a book that it's called Traditional Herbal Medicine in Northern Thailand. It's published in 1987.
Wow.
UC Berkeley Press. It's out of print. It was field research by Viggo Brunn, who was from Copenhagen, a professor at the University of Copenhagen, and Trond Schumacher, who was a physician in Norway.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about herbal medicine. There's only mentions of midwives using their hands. There's no mention of our system of bodywork. Luckily, I ended up in Copenhagen on one of my European trips before I published my book, or when I was writing it, and I met Viggo. And you couldn't have asked for a more gracious host. He took my wife, and my wife was on that trip with me. He took us out to dinner, and then he took me to his library at the university and opened it, and he said, anything you want, I'll copy for you. And he was the one who really pointed me to the dosha theory in herbal medicine from Ayurvedic. And I really saw that a lot of what we do in our Thai massage work was to affect pen lom, vata, wind in the body.
Mm-hmm.
So he gave me, and I reference him in my book. He was a wonderful host, and he really helped deepen my understanding that we were looking at a whole system of medicine and not just massage.
Wow. Now your book, back a couple minutes ago, you said it was published in 1988, or was it 1990?
1998.
Okay.
The first edition.
So do you know, were there other books in the end that were published in Europe or North America before that book, or is that the first one?
My understanding, no. Again, as far as I know, this was the first English language. A man named Anthony James had done a handbook, but as far as a professional publishing house, in fact, actually, Churchill Livingston's they were a medical publishing house for over 100 years. So to be under their banner, I thought was just marvelous, and really it helped put Thai massage where it belonged, which was at a level of shiatsu, of tuina, of Chinese medicine, of therapeutic bodywork. I'm extremely grateful to those publishers.
I think a lot of people should be, because, it's like we don't know these stories anymore, but, bringing these stories back to life, I think especially with Thai massage as prevalent as it is now and just really practiced all around the world. I mean, these are the building blocks that helped open the doors for thousands, if not tens and hundreds of thousands of people now who have fallen in love the way you did,
And in my acknowledgments or my dedication or introduction in the book, one of the things I said was it was my absolute fervent hope that this would be a seed that would be planted, that would grow into a garden and would grow and flourish. And so to see this wave of people like yourself and the other people, and I remember when I first Googled Thai massage, there was a few hits. Now it's thousands, and it's extremely wonderful. I feel very blessed and grateful that I had be able to play some part in that.
Is there any any other wisdom, any other stories that you think would be of just great value for people to know about why Thai massage is as great as it is? Or
part of it too. What is the interaction between the practitioner and the recipient is very precious in Thai massage. It's different. I think being clothed, I think really. It'd be a ridiculous bodywork type to do with the client nude or even with draping. You couldn't keep, so keeping clothed, I think, is wonderful. I think the way we use all parts of our body and how those affect our different intelligences and our different neurological connections in our own brains, I think is very valuable. I can't tell you how many times I felt better after giving healing work than I did going into a session.
Right.
And that's marvelous. I think the timelessness of a Thai massage session can be beautiful. Now I actually wrote a little essay that's in my book called Timeliness and Timelessness. because you really want to provide an experience of timelessness. That's one of my intentions in the work.
And so what does that mean to you?
Well, that the sense of I have to be somewhere, I have to do something, or my next client's waiting, or my next appointment, or the person has to get somewhere, that goes off the table. Because you want a person to have an experience almost of like floating in utero, or somewhere in the calmest, most accepting place where they're not being judged, where they're just someone there to provide love and healing for them, and to be in what we call flow state now. It's a very common term. Just an experience, a mind, body, spirit connectivity. And the fact that the timeliness is that, there is, you're working for, either you're working for a donation or for a fee. You might have ideally you're doing a number of sessions a day, certainly not 8 or 10, but, maybe 4 or 5.
Sure.
And so you want to be, and I think what happens with experience is, how long it more or less it takes. You want to, as a practitioner and as a recipient, to get to a place where time is not the tyranny of time is what I call it with a friend of mine, that we always have to be here, be here, be here, be here. Your phone rings, your alarms go off, this and that,
Right.
To get out of that, which is what the monk's path often is, or the hermit's path is. I think it not only is it beneficial to our psychology, it's very important to our physiology too.
Right. I mean, I think you're touching on it, just so beautifully, how many ways the Thai massage benefits the two people involved, to come together. I mean, there is the physical benefits that happen to your body, but then there's the presence that gets shared between two people, and even that whole like being released from the bondage of time into this space of timelessness, and how that is healing in and of itself, and and then what that does for a connection. It's amazing.
No, I know that you've traveled widely in Asia. I have too. There's no place like, I haven't been to Vietnam or Cambodia, but even when you come through the airport in Thailand, there's a quality that's different. Even the person who looks at your passport often will make eye contact the times I've been there, because I've been in and out a number of times. It's a very special country. And the permeation of the culture by Theravada Buddhism, I think, is very, very important. And I think it shows up on all levels. One thing that just occurred to me, I was in Chiang Mai in 88, 89. I went back in 92. And sadly, that's the last time I've been to Thailand. Just in that time, those few years, the proliferation of Thai massage establishments in schools was stunning to me. And to Google it now, it's absolutely stunning, not just in the West, but I think that like when I was at the old medicine hospital, I was the only American in my group.
Right.
To see that the embracement of their tradition by the outside has helped rejuvenate it on the inside.
Yeah. And I've heard that from other teachers who have, similar to you, started in the 80s, where, basically it just wasn't interesting to young people to do this. It was just the thing that their parents or their grandparents did, and it was just old. So they wanted new things. And then once it took off, and just, I like the way you put it, because, it brought all this validity and interest, and, it's like, oh, something Thai really is of interest in every corner of the world. Well, we should then go deeper with it and bring it back.
Yeah, so we are definitely part of an international web of interest in this kind of healing work.
Well, it is, and I can't thank you enough for your contribution to help. Like you said, you're one person who made a small contribution, but.
And so my hope is that it just keeps growing. The acceptance keeps growing. There's one thing I can add. I think that it's a little bit of a promotion, but I think it's worthy of it, which is I have always enjoyed or appreciated the use of sound and music to facilitate healing work. whether it's gongs or Stephen Halpern's music, or, there's a variety of this ambient music around. But over time, 40 years into it, and especially if you love music and you've been around classic, really classic, not just classical music, but really well composed and performed music, a lot of ambient music is synthesized, and it's not musical, let's say. It's ambient, but not musical. Now, in Thai massage, a lot of the music, especially if it changes rhythms and pace, you don't really want that with Thai massage.
Right.
You want something that's consistent. For a 15-year period until recently, every year I taught at Esalen Institute Thai massage. Well, 6 years ago at the same time, there was another class on neuroscience and the brain and consciousness. It was taught by an academic neuroscientist and an award-winning composer and musician named Yuval Ron. I met Yuval at Esalen, and something happened between us that was magic. And I'll save the middle of the story and just say we actually then decided to form a production company, a music production company we call Metta Mindfulness Music, to produce music that's informed by ancient traditions, ancient wisdom traditions, modern neuroscience, and that supports healing. We've been working now, we're just about to release a fourth production. This one's based on the chakras. We did one on Chinese medicine, two on Chinese medicine, one on the doshas of Ayurvedic. And to create music that facilitates our kind of healing work.
Right. No, I am so grateful that you're sharing this because, I have been also giving and teaching this for, it's getting close to 20 years now, and how music informs your movements and the whole energy of the space. I mean, and just even what we talked about how this is really on the level of spirit, just such a deeply connecting kind of massage. So to have music that helps transport us into that place so deeply, of course, that has a huge impact on healing. And so what you're saying is that you've already produced 3 CD or 3 pieces.
Well, we have, the first is a 7 CD box set. It's the 6 healing sounds of Chinese medicine. It's the 5 elements plus what we call the triple warmer. Mm-hmm. Second production was the doshas, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. And so these are individual. You can hear them on YouTube. We have a channel, Metta Mindfulness Music channel on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And then we use Chinese medicine to do themes for problems: sleep, stress, breathing problems, digestive problems. And we have one called Relieve the Blues. So if you know how the liver and the kidneys and the spleen all affect energy and emotions and disease in Chinese medicine, you can use themes that are based on that and also the tone that they're in to facilitate that. We also do things, we embed beats in them, not in all of our music, but we embed beats called brain entrainment to actually help lull people into deeper states of consciousness.
So if someone wanted to get the music, where would they go to get it?
CD Baby. It's on iTunes. It's on Amazon, but CD Baby is the best place. Again, if you don't want to spend a penny, you can just go on Metta Mindfulness Music on YouTube. And I think another thing that distinguishes our music is we work with extraordinary acoustic musicians. Mm-hmm. We do droning and things like that, but our main themes are all played by acoustic, world-renowned musicians.
Well, I will definitely put a link below for anyone who wants to.
So it's www.mettamindfulnessmusic.com.
At the end of the day, Rick, you are a Renaissance man.
Oh, thank you, Shai.
And you've really, you have lived a life, I think, that a lot of people are just got to be so moved by and hopefully inspired by. I know I am. And, it's just such a testament to you and just listening to your spirit and you're inquisitive and kind of, just never stop being a student and never stop wanting to share all the gifts that you've learned and just found all these great ways to bring it out into the world. So really, from the bottom of my heart, oh my God, thank you.
Thank you.